Show you the video of the stretch where Zenyatta loses by a nose after coming in from dead last. Amazing call. Here's the call down the final stretch.
Looking at Lucky, Edgton's in there. Zenyatta now hooking to the grandstand side, and Zenyatta is now coming with her run. Looking at Lucky, Blame on the inside. Blame gets the lead. Zenyatta on the outside, looking at Lucky. Blame, Zenyatta is flying. Blame trying to hold on. Blame and Zenyatta. Blame has won it ahead. Zenyatta ran her heart out, but had to settle for second. Fly down was third.
And I have a feeling we're going to be hearing that stretch call for a long, long time. Let's get straight to Sports Director Matt Hobbs out at Churchill Downs. Matt, I think all of us can probably agree. Have we really ever seen anything quite like that? And what was it like from your vantage point?
I think the best way to put it is it's the most amazingly disappointed anyone's ever been as far as horse racing goes. I mean, when she passed us here on the first turn, it looked awful. I mean, she was in dead last place, and not by a little bit. It looked by a couple of lengths, but somehow she made up all that ground, and as we saw, it came right down to the wire. You could hear the crowd build and build and build, and then right there at the last second, the appropriately named Blame killed the Disney movie, pretty much. I mean, look, great race by all the horses, and look, this is what sports is all about. You can never predict it. It rarely ends like a movie, but just such a wild finish. If she had to lose, I guess this is the best way for her to go out.
Looking at Lucky, Edgton's in there. Zenyatta now hooking to the grandstand side, and Zenyatta is now coming with her run. Looking at Lucky, Blame on
coming from the grandstand while that race was finishing up. It was amazing. People couldn't believe what they were seeing because, again, if you've been down here, you can see everything up on the Jumbotron, and as you're watching the horses go away from the grandstand section, it was ridiculous how far behind Zenyatta was. And again, for her to do her thing, what she always does, come from behind and almost get it that time right at the end at the nose. Blame, though, all the experts were picking Blame. We had several of them on the last couple of days, and we are joined now by a frantically hustling Gary Rodemeyer, live television, folks. Gary, you had a great view from way up top. What your thoughts on the race?
Well, you know, I did believe she got farther behind in this race than any of the races that I had watched her run in California. That having been said, she had every shot. And, you know, maybe this time it was timing. She just didn't get there in time. And it'll be interesting to hear what Mike Smith has to say if he thinks he mistimed the run down the stretch. But she, just like in all of her other races, was covering ground in a just unbelievable manner coming down the stretch. And let me tell you, Blame is a great horse, and those two were separated from the rest of this great field by about 4 or 5 lengths, which shows it was a 2-horse race, and she just got nipped at the wire. I think she's still 20 for 20, and I'll tell you, she's going to be voted Horse of the Year no matter the outcome of this race. And Blame is a wonderful horse, and I wouldn't be surprised if they bring her back and run her again, because she looked to me today like she's at the top of her game. It doesn't matter where she runs.
So there you go. It wasn't history that we were all kind of expecting, but possibly just another chapter in the Zenyatta story. A great win for Blame. We don't want to take anything away from that horse. We're going to have more from Churchill Downs. And also, hey, how about that Louisville football team? Not bad up in Syracuse. Adam Letzko will have more on that in sports. But for now, reporting live and for Gary Rodemeyer here at Churchill Downs, Matt Hobbs, WHS 11 News.
Matt and Gary, thank you so much. And WHS 11's Mike Colombo is also over at Churchill Downs with some of the fans, and there were so many of them that came out to see this big race.
Claudia, we are outside Gate 1 right now talking with some fans of racing. Some Zenyatta fans join me now. Your name, ma'am?
Pam Wise.
And where are you from, Pam?
Lake Tahoe.
Lake Tahoe.
Beverly James from Grapevine, Texas.
Okay, so they've obviously come from all over the world and the country to come see Zenyatta. 2 Zenyatta fans. We have the teal and the pink here. Is it an upsetting result?
Yes. Yes, most definitely. I just thought she was going to win. We watched her run last year at Santa Anita and win the Classic, and I just knew she was going to pull it out, but She didn't.
But your loyalties have not changed at all. You
Nope. We root for the girls.
Go girls.
Go girls.
Go girls.
Now, I know you've seen Zenyatta race before, but this was your first time.
First time.
And you were just telling me you were a little shocked when you saw how far behind she was.
I just kept hitting him. She's last. She's last. I couldn't believe that a horse could be that far behind. And then we were right where they came around, and I'm like, she's ahead. She's getting ahead. Could not believe it.
All right.
Unbelievable.
Well, it didn't end the way at least these two ladies would have liked. We're here at Gate 1 from Churchill Downs. I'm Mike Colombo, WHAS 11 News.